And here it is. This is game 4 between NrG and Chaos Theory. In this bottom left-hand corner, we do have Holy North spawning as the blue Terran player. I'm scout the map at the moment. So it looks like Holy North chose match point. He's a hero here for choosing this map. Looks like both players have played on this map just once, and both of them lost, so they're going to be trying to redeem their record on this map. This is a Brood War port-in from the old days. Going to be playing StarCraft 2 on it now, match point. And on the other side, we do have NrG Monk spawning in the top right-hand corner. Of course, this is a 2-player map, so there's only 2 spawn points here, so the players don't actually have to scout each other to know where they are. But I hope they do scout to figure out what exactly they are doing. NrG's Monk going to be chrono boosting a couple of probes in this game at the beginning. Good luck, have fun from Monk. And YouTube very mannered here in the early game. Matchpoint is a very interesting map here. It does have the natural expansion with a fairly wide open ramp here. Well, not ramp. Choke, but there are these 2 mineral fields in this corner. Going to be able to wall this off a little bit, but you can mine these out to free you to move about the map. And a little bit south of that is a minerals only expansion. This is disadvantageous to a Protoss player just because no gas equals no units, or no good units. So we do have the barracks coming up at the front for Holy North. He did wall it off with a supply depot that is unfinished, so he really does not want the probe to scout exactly what he's doing in here. So he must be hiding something interesting. Looks like the probe will start to zap away over there, and the SCV does come off immediately to begin fixing that one up. A Marine is on the way. And NrG's Monk throwing up his cybernetics core inside his base, mining the gas as well. We'll see what kind of build he decides to do. In the old days, you could just forge expand over here, but we'll see what happens in this game. Going to be continuing to make those probes, saving up some chrono boost now, possibly to get out a faster stalker and to get out the warp gate research that much faster. Chrono boost is a pretty good spell here for our Protoss players. And another pylon coming up in the backside. The second gas has been taken, and no chrono boost on the cybernetics core yet, so we'll see what he decides to do with that 50 chrono boost at the ready. And our Terran player is getting the gas at his, getting the second gas and the second barracks. Looks like the double chrono boost going to be getting out to the stalker as well. Factory, or no, factory is not on the way. Looks like we do have a marauder now coming out. Tech lab is finished. Second barracks is almost finished as well. Holy North knows exactly where you can hop into your base. Into the base with stalkers with blink, so he's going to be throwing down his supply depot over here. NrG's Monk not quite ready to do the same yet, and it looks like accidentally scooted to the side over there. And it looks like the Stimpack upgrade is on the way for Holy North, so he will be delaying his push a little bit in comparison if he had gone for that concussive shells. More Marines on the way for Holy North. We do have a pylon coming up for NrG's Monk, possibly to put up some pressure in the early game. We do have 3 gateways coming up, so he can do 3-gate pressure and possibly expand after that. Chrono boost going down on the warp gate research yet again, so we may see that 3-gate pressure very early on. Holy North here just has these 2 marauders and 2 marines. A bunker is coming up, and a factory is coming as well. Protoss player Monk is now throwing up his natural expansion. The Nexus is coming up, and the warp gates have warped in, so he will be able to put on some pressure. We'll see if he decides to do that with this pylon. A Marine does scout it and will be able to clean this up. We'll see if a Monk decides to warp in some units to save that pylon. Looks like he will allow it to fall. Marauders and Marines coming over here are going to be able to finish that pylon off. I wonder if he knows what our Protoss player is doing. No, he does not. Monk is scooting out across the map with a little bit with his Stalker and his sentries. He's got plenty of sentries up at the top of his ramp. This ramp is a very narrow area, so it's going to be really hard for any incoming player to get a good arc, whereas the defending player can have units on the high ground here all around this area. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be able to rain down the fire on any sort of attacking units. Holy North actually throwing up 2 bunkers here. He's got no expansion on the way, but he is getting a reactor for his starport. We'll see what he decides to do off this. Maybe he's trying to trick NrG's Monk into thinking that he's going for an expansion, seeing just the bunkers and then pulling back. Whereas he is actually going for a pretty heavy push off of these 2 bases with medevacs and marines and marauders with stim, and it looks like a couple of zealots, a couple of stalkers, sentries are advancing across the map, and it looks like the concussive shell is not yet done. The stalkers do get away from there, and a couple of units going to be parking themselves on the top of this ramp area, very easily defensible by our Terran player. Concussive shell is now finishing up. Monk is grabbing his 2 gas at the natural expansion. He has had so much time to mine off of this area that he's just ahead just because of that. On this map, Forge is on the way. He has his robotics facility, a Twilight Council coming up. Monk can easily throw down additional gateways to replenish his army. Holy North is now pushing across the map. Those 2 stalkers will see exactly what's going on and will be able to alert those sentries. Looks like the stalkers do get a couple of free shots on that medevac. 1 stalker does quickly go down, so that remainder stalker will retreat back to the base. NrG's Monk going to be getting out a couple more units right now. Chrono Boost going down on the Blink upgrade, so he will have those Blink stalkers in the near future. 1 Marauder almost getting picked off there. A factory scouting this bottom position, and it looks like Holy North going to be trying to bust up here, but there are plenty of sentries to be able to force field that ramp. Looks like they will be able to pick off a pylon over here. The force fields going down. Very nice force fields there, picking off a couple of marines, forcing all the rest of the units to shoot at nothing. A zealot gonna get cleaned up over here. More force fields going down. Oh, almost trapped all of those units. Looks like a load up from Holy North will be able to back out of here. NrG's Monk is now ahead by nearly 20 food. And let's just take a look at the units killed. NrG's Monk has killed 9 units during that attack. Those medevacs have loaded up and will be retreating for the moment, but our Protoss player now throwing up 3 additional gateways, finishing up the Blink upgrade, will be able to keep up with our Terran player, and it looks like we may have a triple drop into the main. Well, actually it's just 2. Because 1 medevac is completely empty. A couple of zealots warping in, and it looks like this will be thwarted. More stalkers on the low coming in right now. It looks like the sentries are not yet in position to force field that army in, so the stalkers can clean that up. Looks like Holy North is not interested in pushing there anymore, and the observer over here keeping a nice watch over here. NrG's Monk has plenty of vision to see exactly where this army is trying to go. It's like having map hacks on. We do have a pylon at the ready, possibly to take a 3rd base in the near future. More zealots warping in, and it looks like Holy North is regrouping over here. He has his natural expansion now coming up, but it's so far delayed. NrG's Monk is at 93 food already. His 3 gateways are now complete and warping into warp gates. He's got his +1 armor finished, and a stalker over here will be able to shoot down this factory as soon as it notices that it's floating over there. It looks like Holy North is going to move it into position for that stalker to begin its target practice. Another pylon coming up, a couple of stalkers advancing across the field. They do have the Blink upgrade, so they will be able to get away from those marauders if they do not stim. So a couple more stalkers joining over here, going to be narrowly avoiding that Terran army. Looks like he's going to have to blink to be able to get away from that. Looks like this army has stimmed. Going to be wasting a lot of medevac energy there. Going to be quickly healing that up. And the 3rd base is on the way for our Protoss player. Factory relegated to sitting in the corner is not on fire, so it will be able to keep watch over that patch of space. Looks like we have Colossus on the way, +1 weapons also finishing up. The plus ground zealot speed is also on the way. More Zealots being warped in. NrG's Monk will be able to use those to his advantage in this big, wide open area. A very interesting formation for a Terran army to be sitting in right now. He is getting a pretty big spread, keeping watch over this entire area. NrG's Monk does have a Stalker up on the high ground, going to be checking for when that Terran army decides to move out. An Observer is scooting over here as well. Looks like it is on patrol. He has the probe at the ready, possibly to take yet another base. Looks like that third base is now complete. Monk is moving out with a couple of probes to that expansion, and he is moving his army out as well. There is Colossus out in the field already, so he will be able to fry away a lot of those Marines and Marauders very quickly. Vikings coming out, Ghosts on the way for Holy North. He's got 2 idle SCVs sitting over here. The factory does scout the third base coming up. I think this will put a little bit of panic into Holy North. We'll see what he decides to do. Ghost does have EMP at the ready, so he will be able to throw down that on all of the Zealots. We'll see if he's able to do enough damage to be able to bust in here. Let's take a look at the army tab. Army supply at 87 for NrG's Monk and 72 for Holy North, and it looks like we may see that confrontation real soon. The Observer checking out everything that's going on, and Monk over here repositioning his army. 168 food for our Protoss player. A scan going down, seeing the positioning of that Protoss army. It looks like Holy North is going to choose to engage on the ground over here. Looks like the Ghosts are coming forth. EMP on all of the Zealots, but the Stalkers do get away unscathed. And the Colossus joining this battle over here. Nice force fields walling off a huge army, allowing the Colossus to fry it away. Holy North, GG. This game goes to NrG, and NrG is now up 3-1. So next game will be game point. We're going to be moving to another game. Selbon is going to be playing Protoss for Chaos Theory against NrG's Monk. This is the American Pro League semifinals, Season 1 in the Alpha League. Please do subscribe if you do like what you see here.